All right, hello and welcome back. I'm just gonna go ahead and see if I can get the logos for these teams up real quick. We might not actually have time. I can speedrun this. Hold on, GABU, add source. Fuck. Oh, sorry, language. Crap. Where is the GABU logo? There it is. Speedrunning. And sorry about this. Professional streamer, by the way. Yes. Uh, yes, the big ZEEK logo. Let's go scale it down. Perfect, good enough. All right, welcome back to round number, I think this is 5. We are going to be watching GABU2 versus ZEEK here on Mines, starting off here. ZEEK taking a CS, a T114 Bat, a Leopard, an IS-7, and a Mouse. And GABU2 with an S-Conk, an IS-7, an IS-4, a Bat Chat, and a Leopard for themselves. ZEEK immediately taking the hill with no punish from the side of GABU2. GABU, on the other hand, typical defense here. We got the Bat Chat out on island, Leopard 2 in the back covering, 2 tanks under the hill, and the S-Conk in the base. So, let me just go ahead and make sure that all is good with the other thing. Okay, just checking in on the other matches real quick while this one's starting up. I think there was a little bit of timing issues, unfortunately, some conflicts with other games, but I think it should be sorted out. Happy to see the sportsmanship. Teams wanting to play rather than take free wins, so that's always nice to see. Jamie in the Leopard here getting tagged, likely from the hill, I believe. Either Diltclair or the killing tank. Able to get one shot into him there. Not the end of the world, though. It's all the punish that has been done so far. ZEEK are getting that Mouse all the way around here. They're going to be trying to get him onto cap. The Storm Tiger is banned, as it is a TD with a much greater than 150mm gun. So being able to get resets here, they are going to have to rely on the Super Conk and the IS-4 working in tandem. And most of that is going to be this IS-4 here. But it's going to be hard for him to fight against this Mouse here. The Mouse has very good cover with this rock. So at worst, he's probably trading 1 for 1. And, trading 1 for 1 with a Mouse, never going to really work in your favor with the HP that the Mouse has. So I believe Attempted Wolf able also to get a shot into the Super Conk on the way in here. So there is also that. Immense Gamer taking the hill in the IS-7. So there's no one actually there to cover the hill cross up, which we normally see at least one tank here on the rock, able to kind of create a crossfire of tanks pushing the hill. None of that this time. Instead, we have the T114 Bat behind the Mouse covering. I'm not too sure how effective that's going to be. T114 Bat, not the best at sniping. The accuracy is not too bad, but the shell velocity is really not something you like to work with here. But he's just going to stay safe and probably just try to come in if the Super Conk pushes up potentially and help his Mouse out there. But the GABU2 IS-4 is going to have to start making a play here. 50 seconds left on the cap. Super Conk in the base does get an HE reset, but that is not going to be enough to take down this game. IS-4 gets a nice pin onto the Mouse, though. So Mouse down to 2,200 hit points. He's going to have to try to work on keeping his health a little bit more. T114 Bat moving up at the same time as the GABU2 medium tanks. Jamie in the Leopard and Suta in the Bat Chat coming around behind. But they won't be able to catch anyone out here because all of the tanks from ZEEK are up on the hill here. So, kind of, just nothing really to catch out here. What I would like to see them do is, instead of repushing mid, just going around behind this Mouse. If they're able to take the backside of hill, there's not a whole lot the tanks on hill can do. They can drop off the backside, but Doing so would leave the hill vulnerable to a repush as well. So, um, looks like the bat is going to go try to cover the hill a bit more. Mouse getting reset again, looks like by HE from the Super Conk. Super Conk taking a little bit more damage as well. The hill push is coming in here, but they're going to bleed a lot for this. Focusing at the IS-7 here. IS-7 down to a one-shot, but I'm not sure if that's really the tank you want to be focusing in this kind of scenario. You want to get out the medium tanks. They have the better DPM, the better mobility here. And now the T-114 bat coming around takes out the Leopard. He'll be able to get another shot into the bat chat as well. He is on reload. He might end up going down here. No, the bat chat only had one left, so he's going to live for now. IS-7 misses a shot. He will be the next and last tank to get focused out here. The mouse pushing off cap. Just trying to keep the focus of the S-Conk and the IS-4 here. And unfortunately, I think GABU just missing a couple of shots on that hill fight and really just having to push into the hill. You know, you're coming up into a crossfire, you have the meds on the right, the IS-7 on the left. You focus the closer target, which is the IS-7, but it's not really the target you want to focus out, right? It's got more armor, more likely to bounce, it's more healthy, it's going to take more shots to kill, and it really doesn't have the same damage output over a longer fight than the mediums. So, yeah, not exactly what you like to see. Mouse hops back onto cap here, and yeah, they're just going to try and close this one out as cleanly as possible. Looks like first round going to ZEEK here, unless Mr. Wakami is going to be able to make something crazy happen in the Super Conk. I would like to give a quick shout out to GABU2 for even playing. I was amazed when they signed up because they are a majority Japanese team, I believe. So if you don't know how like time zones work, for them it's like Monday morning, I think, or like even afternoon, Monday morning, afternoon-ish. So the fact that they're here playing with us for our Sunday night games is awesome. Really thank them for signing up and actually attending, showing up. It's awesome. I love it. So happy to see that. And they're doing pretty well this tournament, to be honest. So they've already had some pretty good wins against the likes of Shame, I believe, yesterday. And they had a close game right before this against Velocity as well. So they're right up there at the top of NA. So you'll love to see that. But that will be the end of round one. ZEEK, killing tank in the Leopard, 4,200 damage, 2 kills. Apologies. Putting in a lot of work there. So, you know, really good round from him. Rest of the team, 3 tanks doing about 2,000, and a Minced Gamer in the IS-7 getting focused out there, only able to get 1 shot off, but, you know, being the focus in an IS-7 was also kind of what won them the game, in my opinion, so can't really fault him too much there. And on the side of GABU, not a whole lot going on. Their push on the hill just didn't work out. Medium's not able to really get enough damage out onto the enemy medium tanks. The IS-7 able to absorb most of it there, and yeah, just not a whole lot. They also had 2 tanks out of the fight, being occupied by the mouse the entire game. So really the hill fight was more of a 4 tanks for ZEEK versus 3 from GABU. And yeah, that just didn't really work out for them there. But we'll go ahead and let them get picked up for round number 2 and see what they have in response. But good first round from both sides. We'll catch you back right after this. We'll just go ahead and do that and avoid any incidents there. But yeah, I'll let them go ahead and get started on tank picks. Yay! Alright, and we're back. GABU2 bringing out double IS-7, IS-4, Leopard, and a CS. ZEEK coming out with a 215B, an IS-4, a 50B, a Leopard, and a CS. So, kind of similar lineups. The heavies differ a little bit. Curious what the 50B is going to do here. I kind of expected him to be playing the K9 spot in the back, but he is going to push up, actually. They might just be looking for a hill brawl here. The CS and the Leopard coming up into mid. This could be this is just looking like a hill fight. But the IS-4 from ZEEK is going to take a while to get into this. 2 tanks up from both sides. Minimal punish so far, but the 50B is almost here. He might be able to get a clip into this Leopard here. He gets 1 shot. Probably able to get 2. No, he actually gets punished really hard by the 3 heavy tanks. He's down low HP. The GABU2 mediums are pushing in. They're actually able to get an IS-7 up into the hill fight as well. Not sure if that was really necessary, as the little focus fire on this Leopard is actually very good. And they could have actually won this without the IS-7s, but IS-7 repush gonna secure the hill for them. It's a matter of if ZEEK are able to get out any tanks. They are not. Dilt Glare is going to fall down, and these IS-7s and mediums are going to have to fall back and help their IS-4 out here. Immense Gamer down to a 1 shot in the 50B. Not what you like to see from a 50B. Looks like Banger Links 4 going to be going in to secure the kill on Immense there, and he does. Very well done. And yeah, very close game here. ZEEK actually still up on HP, but all of that HP is on an IS-4. Glare still out of the fight here. Tempted Wolf able to get one kill, but he is losing his HP rapidly in this 4v1, and Glare just not able to get into the fight fast enough. Tempted Wolf goes down, and that leaves Glare in a 1 versus 4. And all of the GABU tanks just driving into each other. Nice. I'll blame the ping for them, you know. But yeah, good response there from GABU. I was a little worried when they committed to Hill, but I think it worked out for them, right? The double IS-7 is able to get up there and secure the win against the medium tanks, turning the 2v2 into a 4v2. The IS-4 did a really good job holding on and holding off the heavies. 3k out of him. Just really good result there. Only blocking 880, so I guess just not really receiving as many hits there. But very good hold for him. I think the problem there for ZEEK, the 50B getting punished at the start, put down to a one-shot rather early on. You know, I don't want to say it's a misplay, but, you know, having the extra HP on the 50B there in a late game scenario definitely could have helped them out a bit. And I don't think Glare was able to really get into the fight fast enough. I think he was a little too worried about getting repushed himself that he just let his team get kind of picked off one by one. And even though they had like about a 1,000 to 1,500 HP lead, that all just disappeared because of the tank advantage, right? So, yeah, just unfortunate. But good bounce back from GABU, tying the score 1-1. Go ahead and get that fixed there. And I believe we go to Westfield. I should know this, but yes, Westfield is going to be the next map. So we'll have to see what they decide to do here once they have tanks picked. I will be right back. All right, and we are back. We have GABU2 with a double Leopard, CS, Panzerwagon, and a Valor. On the side of ZEEK, we have a double Leopard, a CS, a Batchat, and a Panzerwagon. So pretty similar lineups here, actually. Difference being the Bat and the Valor for each team. So we'll have to see what ZEEK's going to do here. They are attacking, and they have a very light lineup here. No heavy tanks, but they're still going up for the Brawl in B2, which is a pretty interesting setup, to be honest. I don't dislike the play, because if you are able to get up into B2 in the faster medium tanks like they're trying to do, you can usually punish a slower lineup like a Valor or something, and potentially even kill them before they're even able to get into the fight. But it's kind of risky. If tank takes maybe a bit of a, you know, more of a town angle, they can kind of approach a lot more safe and actually get up. And at that point, you're fighting hold down against the Valor. It can be kind of tricky, especially in tanks like a BAT or a CS that don't really have the bend to really contest the frontal armor. But GABU actually playing map control here, which is a bit surprising. They're taking full south, which, in my opinion, would have been very, very risky, I think, against such a light lineup from ZEEK. But it's actually worked out in their favor. The Valor getting caught out a little bit here, and it looks like ZEEK all grouping up into the D1 position. I wouldn't be surprised if they just full commit here. Looks like they're going to just keep pushing down the one line, potentially, or just send their light. This does get spotted out, so we should see a rotation here from GABU to cover this Valor, or else he's just going to get picked off for free. He does get a good shot into the light tank from ZEEK, who does manage to slip onto Cap. So actually, rather instead of pushing the Valor, they're actually just going to set up to punish anyone that goes for a reset here. But 2HMO2 for you, maybe making a bit of a misplay here. He tried to push out onto Cap a bit further. Does get spotted. Luckily, doesn't take any damage in return. I believe a tracking shot was all. But he tried to get behind the other building, but it is destructible, so GABU able to shoot that down and expose him pretty quickly. But at this point, GABU is going to have to make a push toward the Cap. The Panzerwagon is behind some soft cover, though. Normally, we see tanks playing this building here on the Cap because it's indestructible. But if GABU knew, they could just shoot these buildings down and be able to take out this light tank. So we'll have to see if they realize that. They know where he's at now, so that's one shot taking out partial of the building there. Valor gets a good shot onto the light. The light's bleeding a lot of hit points here. Not what you like to see for the tank that is capping. And looks like the CS and the RHM trying to destroy more of these buildings here. Minced Gamer pushing down. He gets tracked and slapped and out of the game. So, yeah, GABU, a pretty good solid hold here, actually. They're getting really good punish on the tanks coming down. And unfortunately, they're not peaking enough for ZEEK to be able to get shots with the tanks that were up top. Killing Tank and Dilt pushing down. Still one Leopard in the back covering. Valor is going to go down here to the Leopard, but I think the damage is already done at this point. And unless GABU decides to throw some tanks here, which potentially Yura looking to push, but I think that'd be a really bad idea. He doesn't really have a lot of cover if he does continue to push. He spots out Stepsister pushing across, though. See if he's able to get a shot in here. He does not. So Stepsister down in H1 behind the building. This leaves room for Jamie and Suta to push up top. They should be able to engage in this 2v2. Killing Tank is down to a one-shot. So yeah, I think the 3,000 hit point lead that GABU2 has is not going to be able to be toppled in this game. As Killing Tank does get picked up, Dilt Glare going to get pushed on by at least two tanks here. And that's just going to leave Stepsister in another 1v4. 1v4 is the magic number this game, it seems. So Glare goes down. Stepsister is a two-shot. He should go down to the CS and Leopard here, who are giving chase. And he goes for the ram. He gets the ram. And GABU coming back 2-1. They put themselves on match point. So good stuff out of GABU here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the damage. Yeah, GABU across the board, pretty decent. I mean, 3.3k from the Leopard, 2.6 from the Valor, and a lot of assists. Really good hold from him. I like that he realized where the ZEEK tanks were after the first hit. He took a much more passive defensive position. Was able to get spots on all the tanks crossing, and ultimately won the game for them. Leopard, CS, and RHM getting shots in at range. Just being able to get the damage out that they needed. And on the ZEEK side, Immense Gamer, 0 damage. He got caught out on the push, trying to make it down into, I believe that's K1. Um, kind of a risky cross. Not sure if that was really necessary, but I think it was kind of forced because his RHM was slowly losing cover, right? Like, eventually, the GABU tanks would have destroyed all of the destructible buildings there, and since he wasn't behind the indestructible one, he would be out in the open and obviously shot and killed. So yeah, I mean, still not great to see a bat chat do 0. The rest of the team, not really able to get much going either. RHM coming top on damage, but he really should be the one on 0 damage capping. So yeah, we'll see if ZEEK's able to bounce back and take this to tiebreaker when we come back. All right, and we're back already. I like these fast intermissions. It's nice. But yeah, GABU now on an attack, coming out with a Valor, double Leopard CS, and an RHM. Same lineup, I believe, as last game. And ZEEK also taking a similar lineup, a Bad Chat, double Leopard, and double CS instead of one RHM. So, ZEEK, they're not capping, so they don't really need a light tank. Taking an extra med could be beneficial for him here. Although at this point, I mean, with the buffs to the RHM, it's basically a pseudo medium tank. So, could argue that it's even better than a CS in some scenarios at this in this meta. But Suda getting it spotted out here, he takes a pot shot at the mediums that he spots. Really risky. He gets spotted out for it, but luckily doesn't take any damage in return. And no damage onto these ZEEK tanks either, so they're going to be continuing the cross. Attempted Wolf takes 2 on the cross, but he's the only one spotted. Killing Take able to cross unlit as well. So that's interesting. I mean, that just goes to show the difference in camo between the Leopard and the CS nowadays, right? So, the good early punish onto the CS. We'll have to see how GABU responds. All of their tanks are currently looking for this 0 line, so maybe they'll try to make a rotation for the north play, which seems to be what they are going to do. They do have a Valor, so this is going to take a while for them to get this Valor into position. And the tanks from ZEEK, very quick themselves, so easily able for them to rotate back as well. Suda being very aggressive right now. He needs to be very careful because he doesn't have any support. If he gets spotted out on this ridge line by someone like Dilt peeking here, this could be disastrous for them. He does get good info though. That one Leopard at least has rotated back into the K1 position behind the church there. But he does get spotted out by Glare, so he's going to have to take some evasive maneuvers. He needs to be careful running though, because Immense Gamer looking to put in some shots here and make up for the last game. He gets 2 pins into the Panzerwagon. And that's likely going to be their cap tank here. So damage you don't like to see taken onto the light tank. Kind of unnecessary. I think he definitely could have waited a bit longer and let his team maybe rotate into position. I would have also liked to see GABU maybe leave a tank on the 0 line, because they don't really have any way to keep ZEEK from pressuring the B cap if Suta does get onto the cap here. Normally you would like to see a tank, or from ZEEK's side, most likely you'll see a tank kind of playing this ridge over here. So as they push up here, you know, they'll be able to get spots onto Suta if he hops onto the cap. And you'd normally like to see a medium tank, possibly a leopard, holding a sniping angle from the 0 line there, able to get shots and punish this and keep it down if possible. But GABU rotating all of their tanks up top. We'll have to see how they plan to cover here. The Valor actually making his way over toward the light tanks, so maybe some kind of screenplay where the Valor pushes up further. But there's not a whole lot of positions to play when ZEEK has control of the K line like they do. It's going to be really hard for him to get pushed up into the rocks without losing his entire tank. So let's see. ZEEK starting the blind fires. They obviously are well familiar with this position. They get one shot on the house. It's now destroyed. All of the cover gone. So nothing soft keeping him safe now. We'll have to see if any of the blind fires eventually hit. Although at this point, 2HMO2 for you coming up. He should be able to just push up underneath the gun line here. And a blind fire actually pushes and forces GABU2 off the cap here. So, yeah, I think GABU, you know, they had an idea. They obviously realized ZEEK is all on the K line. It's too much to push that, especially with a tank like a Valor. That's just going to bleed way too much. So they rotate north, but I just don't think they had a good lineup for a north play. At least not with the positioning that they took. Just not really having any tanks to cover cap, and the way that caps are on Westfield, I feel like B cap is the only playable cap in most games. The only way A cap really becomes viable is in like last round, where ZEEK pushed all the way down the one line and caught them off guard there. So yeah, at this point, I'm not really seeing a way for GABU to get back into this game. Obviously, HP is still close. There's all to play for. But it's going to be really tough for them from a positioning advantage standpoint. I think ZEEK has pretty much every angle covered at this point. So we'll see what they do. They got 4.5 minutes. Not a whole lot of time left. So they're going to have to come up with something pretty quick here, or this round is going to be over. We do see the GABU2 Leopard 1 rotating to the 0 line. This is, again, what I would have liked to see from the start. Because if ZEEK wants to push this out, they're going to have to commit at least 1, probably 2, or even 3 tanks. Try and kill that Leopard quickly enough. And with that, maybe that leaves the door open for GABU2 to make a play on the other side. But unfortunately, it's kind of too late. The damage has already been done to the light tank from Suta. So he can't even really get spotted now. And even getting on cap and the potential of getting blind fired is probably enough to deter him from any kind of cap play at this point. I like what Precure just did there, though. He did a little spot check, so he drives forward. He doesn't get spotted immediately because of the bushes and whatnot, but he actually just fires his gun to see if he gets spotted, which he does. So that does tell them that someone, and in this case it's a Tinted Wolf, is still in the K0 position. So it is not safe for him to continue on the 0 line push. So really smart play there from him, actually. Always nice to see stuff like that. On the other side, Jamie is taken up in D1. Again, I like the GABU2 play here. I like the positioning they have. I just think the early punish on the light tank means there's really not a whole lot of room for error here. Like, as soon as this light tank gets hit, 2 more times he's dead. And 1 more time and he's basically dead. So, yeah. I mean, they're going to try this cap. He's in a, I'd say, less than traditional spot now. Like, he's not in the bushes, but he still takes a blind fire from a Tinted Wolf, so he's down to a 1 shot. So yeah, 1 more and he's going to be out of here. And if the light tank does go down, that is unfortunately going to be the hopes and dreams of GABU in this round, going down with him. But we do see the CS and the Leopard actually making a push here. I like this play. they know that they have to push out this K line to get some kind of map control here. They can't keep capping with ZEEK tanks on the K line controlling every angle. Attempted Wolf is down to a one shot, sorry, and he should go down momentarily to the CS and Leopard. Ooh, a miss coming out from the CS. Or sorry, from the Leopard. CS does pin his shot, but low rolls. Another miss. GABU bleeding a lot of hit points here, but it's something they have to do, unfortunately. You're able to come around, make the kill. Immense Gamer gets spotted and takes some punish. Jamie actually comes down from the D1 spot. Not sure if I like that play. I think staying up there and keeping Diltplayer down would have been better, but they do pick up the kill on Immense Gamer, and Killing Tank is in a whole lot of trouble now. He's going to be the next focus for the side of GABU2. Actually takes an ammo rack shot there. Looks like he's able to get that repaired, but he still ends up going down. And GABU2 actually able to make this round work. Actually a very, very good push. If they're able to clean up here in the next minute, which, given the tanks they have, they should be able to. Only one tank left for the side of ZEEK. And really, I mean, textbook play from GABU2. Really good comeback there. I didn't think they had it in them, to be honest. I thought the punish on the light tank was too much, but they played that perfect. The zero line push from the two meds caught ZEEK off guard, and it's exactly what they needed to take back control of that game. So just really well done. I mean, ZEEK had a great initial setup. I think the punish was good. The blind fires were great. But yeah, I mean, that repush from GABU2, amazing. Really good rounds from both teams, actually. Really impressed. But congratulations to GABU2 for their 3-1 victory over ZEEK. Very good result for them. Yeah, awesome stuff. Taking a look at the damage here. I mean, ZEEK, nothing really wrong. I mean, decent damage spread. Again, I don't think individual play was really necessarily bad here. I think the RHM from the side of GABU2 played a bit too aggressive to start and bled too much. But aside from that, I think really ZEEK got too comfortable and gave up too much vision on the zero line, and that's what cost them this game.